Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Now, today I'm going to be stepping away from my list momentarily, because for the past several days I keep seeing this post coming up on Facebook as a suggested post for a band called Protomythos. And, you know, I've seen it come up a few times and I just sort of scroll past it, but, you know, it's been persistently there. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to give this a listen, find out what it is, just get it over with. And rather than just, like, giving it a regular listen, I figured, why not do it here? It would be the first time I'm hearing it. So, you know, it's a perfect opportunity for a reaction. So, as I said, the band is called Protomythos. So, obviously, I don't know who they are. So I did a little bit of research. And it turns out that they are a musical project from Israeli-born, London-based musician Tom Prejudice. I hope I pronounced his name right there. And it says, after writing and recording in his home for several years, Tom decided to record a concept album that centres on a subject close to his heart, animal rights. In 2011, he began to consolidate the songs into In Human Sight, a rock concept album that comprises of 10 original songs that stray away from the mainstream while remaining accessible and engaging. The album was released in 2013 and received positive reviews. 20% of the album's sales were donated to animal rights organisations. In 2015, Tom began working on the next album, Heavy Crowns, which was recorded mainly in London, and marks a different musical direction, incorporating more heavy metal elements. Now, the track we're going to listen to is called Walking the Plank, and it actually comes off the newer album, Heavy Crowns. And a little bit of information on the actual album here. It says, Heavy Crowns was mixed by Grammy Award-winning engineer Michael Brower, who's done sound engineering for Coldplay, Bon Jovi, Dream Theater, John Mayer, Bob Dylan, and the Rolling Stones. And the album itself was mastered by Mauer Applebaum, I've probably pronounced his name horribly, who did mastering for Faith No More, Yes, Halford, and Sepultura. Now, the actual album, Heavy Crown, it was actually released in January this year, so why I'm only just hearing about it, I don't know, but, you know, for some reason, the adverts for it have been flooding my Facebook for the last couple of weeks, so, you know, I figured, why not give it a look? Now, I've got lyrics up here, so I shall see what we shall see through that. There isn't actually that many lyrics, so we'll see. I'm not sure what to expect from this, because in the video it says, do you like bands like Metallica and Opeth and stuff like that? And I'm like, that's interesting, but what era of those bands? Because let's face it, Metallica and Opeth have gone through some drastic changes in their sound over the years, so I'll be intrigued to see where they come from. But anyway, I've been wittering on for 3.5 minutes. Let's have a listen, shall we? So, Walking the Plank by Protomythos. Interesting. Um, I can definitely tell you that wasn't the vocal style I was expecting, but still very interesting nonetheless. Now, if excuse me, if this is just a single man project, as it seems to suggest, it's quite impressive. I mean, musically, I can see where they've sort of plucked the Opeth thing from, because this almost sounds like the actual track itself almost sounds like the beginning of what's it called? Was it Dawn of Eternity? I can't remember the name of the track, the Opeth track, but I know which one I mean. So I can kind of see where they're coming from with the Opeth reference there, and it's very, very interesting musically. I quite like it. It's not like really in your face sort of music. I can't think of how to describe it. It's kind of simple, but not simple, if you know what I mean. There isn't like so much going on that it's confusing, but there are several layers to it, if that makes any sense at all. You've got the guitars, you've got the drums, you've got some awesome sounding synthesizers and keyboards in the background. The music sounds amazing. Like I said, vocal style was not what I was expecting, but it worked. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the meaning behind this track is, and given that his first album was all about animal rights and stuff like that, I can only assume that this second album would also have some meaning behind it. And, I mean, this could just be talking about the state of mankind, possibly. Because... Well, the lyrics go, I have seen them turn to nothing, still the taste for life's unfading, vanishing like thoughts of kindness, losing everything to numbness. And you embrace the sail, persuaded through the veil of culture, sensation leads the way, respect for life decays, devoured. That's all we've got so far. But, in a way, it sort of suggests the way that life is, He says, I have seen them turn to nothing, still the taste for life's unfading. So it's like, people continue to want to live, but they're accomplishing nothing, they're turning to nothing, they're merely existing, they're not living. Yet, their greed for wanting to carry on living. People want to live their lives and stuff, but really they're not doing anything with it. They're just sort of sitting around expecting stuff to happen, possibly. And it says, vanishing like thoughts of kindness, because a lot of people these days are so self-involved. They don't care about the people around them as long as what they're doing makes them happy. They don't care how anybody else is. I'm probably getting this completely wrong. I don't know. It's just what it seems to suggest. I mean, there's a line there. Respect for life decays, devoured. That's almost like the respect for everything else on this planet, all the creatures, for the planet itself. We don't give a shit about that. We're just sort of doing what we want to make us happy, and as long as we're happy, we don't care what's happening. Again, I could just be making stuff up. Let's carry on and see where it goes. Well, there we go. That was Walking the Plank by Protomythos. Now, that's a very interesting piece of music. Musically, it was brilliant. Like I was saying before, it wasn't overly complex, but it wasn't like really simple either. But there was, there's still multiple levels to it. It was like, there's definite elements of prog rock, prog metal in there, but it's not like the overly pretentious prog with all the sort of fret wanking and all the stupid, unnecessary, overly fiddly music, kind of like a lot of Dream Theater is. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Dream Theater, but sometimes they're just a little bit over the top and a little bit pretentious, in my opinion. But this, like I say, it was great. It was very accessible. The music was phenomenal. And as we carry on through the song, it looks more like, it's talking about, as I said before, it looks like the state of mankind, how nobody seems to think for themselves anymore. Nobody seems to have their own sort of personality anymore. People just seem to sort of adhere to what they believe everybody else wants, so essentially we're turning to sheep, And I think that's where the phrase, where walking the plank comes from. It's just sort of like blindly following people, just blindly following whoever's ahead of you, and just carrying on through life, not actually thinking for yourself, not living for yourself. You're just blindly following. And if they walked off the edge of a cliff, you'd probably follow them too. And that's probably where the walking the plank analogy sort of comes from. The song carried on. Vanity prevails, reveals the blind man's trail. The truth won't make you see, cries won't make you hear, doubt won't make you think, thought won't make you feel. So essentially saying it's essentially numb to everything. We're not actually paying attention to life, we're not paying attention to the world, we're just sort of floating on through it. I have seen you stealing life, cheapening blood that flows like water, stepping on the plank to pleasure, sacrificing their volition. So, I've seen you stealing life, cheapening blood that flows like water. So that's almost like, you're stealing life. You're not living life to its fullest. You're literally just existing. You're floating through life, not doing anything worthwhile. And it kind of makes all the sacrifices that people have made beforehand, like people who have fought in wars for your freedom, and stuff like that. It's making what they've done pointless, because, you're not using your freedom, you're not using the life that these soldiers fought to give you. You're squandering it, you're wasting it, you're not making anything of your life. And it says, stepping on the plank to pleasure. So again, that's like, as I was saying before, sort of blindly following people. And, wherever they're going, that must be where you need to go as well. And sacrificing their volition, that's almost like autonomy, the ability to choose what to do with your life, the ability to execute what you want to do. So you're basically becoming, like I said before, a sheep. You're just blindly doing what other people are doing, because that's what seems to be expected of you these days. That's what, it's so much easier to just do what everybody else is doing than being your own person. So that's what that seems to be about. I could be completely wrong, but if that is what it is about, I do like this. I do like the meaning behind it, because it is very relevant. It's very, very good. And like I said, the music was really, really good as well. I'd very much like to hear the rest of that album. I'll have to see if there's like a stream of it somewhere, like Spotify or Bandcamp or something like that, because I'd be intrigued to hear the rest of that, because that was very, very interesting. But I'll leave that as it is. If anybody would like to make a suggestion for a track to me to react to, then please do so. By all means, you can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram. You could even message me on my Patreon, where you could also help to support me, should you choose to, so that I might make more of these videos in the future, maybe even improve the quality of these, because with them having copyrighted material in them, I can't actually monetize them. I can't make any money off of these videos, despite me doing, me recording and doing reactions to this, because they've got copyrighted work in. I cannot monetize any part of it. So the musicians and record companies get all of the money that comes from these videos. So, it'd be, it's one of those things. But anyway, that's not the point. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. They are, shall I say, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those that are aimed towards people of the alternative subculture. And it's something I think that's really, really important and needs more attention bringing to it, because every single day, all over the world, people who listen to alternative music are getting attacked. They're getting violently attacked, and some people even hospitalised just because of their taste in music. And it's something that makes absolutely no sense to me. No sense at all. Why do you attack someone because of their taste in music? That's like attacking someone because they like chocolate ice cream instead of strawberry ice cream. It's stupid. It is a petty, pathetic half of an excuse. There's no real excuse behind that. And when you actually say it out loud, it's like, I beat this person up today. Why is that? Because they like different music to me. It sounds stupid. You don't beat someone up because they like different movies to you. You don't beat someone up because they like different TV shows to you. So why should you beat someone up because they like different music to you? And people are getting severely hurt because of this weird sort of prejudice that's floating around. And it just makes no sense. How does what someone listen? How does someone's taste in music affect your life? Really, it doesn't. What they listen to has no effect on your life. So why would you attack them for it? I mean, what they listen to in their own time is their business. It's none of your business. You've got no right to tell them what they can and cannot listen to. So, what is the point? It's something that infuriates me. Because, I mean, when it gets to the point where a young woman, Sophie Lancaster, loses her life because a group of youths don't like the music she listens to, things have gotten beyond ridiculous. A young girl who is walking home with her boyfriend, minding her own business, gets set upon by a group of young people who proceed to beat them so severely that she dies from her injuries. She's beaten so severely she dies from her injuries. Her boyfriend thankfully survived. I mean, he was in hospital for a considerable amount of time, and he was very badly beaten, and she was so badly beaten that she died. It should not come to that over music or the kind of clothes someone's wearing. If you don't like what clothes someone's wearing, don't look at them. It's really simple. They're not forcing you to listen to their music, so why would you feel the need to attack them for it? Just leave people alone. It makes no sense. It's stupid, it's pathetic, it's petty. And it needs to stop. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want this sort of thing to stop. They don't want to see another family go through what they went through. Because no family should have to bury their own child, and no family should have to bury their child for such ridiculous reason as, why did your child die? Because these people didn't like her music. This shouldn't happen. So if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there's a link to their website in the description down below. You can pop over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their goal is, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And if you can help them in any way, even if it's something as simple as one of these Sophie bracelets, I think they're like £1 on their web store. They've got a whole bunch of other merchandise on there that you can have a look at should you feel to. But the smallest amount makes all the difference, and if you can help in any way, that would be absolutely fantastic, because the sooner we can bring more attention to this, the sooner we can stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.